Take me home, I wanna know if you're down, ready to go. Wanna fly away with you, float away, fly away.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Roadshow. This is actually the second take of this because your boy put it on 4K and that way storage.
Let's go.
But no, we're good.
Let's go.
Bounce
How
back.
are you, fellas?
Brilliant.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
I am asking, but like it's this is the first time they've seen you since the first episode.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
magic off camera up until now.
Dude, what have you guys been up to in the last 7 weeks since I got this to episode 20?
True shit. It's been that long or that short.
It's been a minute for sure.
Yeah, we've got fucking a couple of tracks completed in the studio now too.
Yes, we do.
Exciting stuff.
Ready for scheduling for release, which is fucking awesome.
Hey, hopefully.
Yes. Will you say hopefully?
Oh, well, yeah, hopefully soon, I guess, you know.
You gotta speak it into
like-
existence.
Yeah, I was gonna say you fucking negative.
It will be awesome.
Like, hopefully I put music out.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Put
like
your music out
eventually.
then. Put your music out. Come on, it's done now.
All the way out.
Gotta tease him with it, you know, mate.
Well,
Yeah.
hear him out.
You know.
Hear him
you
out.
know.
Do I? Yeah, nah, I'm the one that's setting it up for you, bro.
Okay. All
Hey,
right.
don't wink
Whoa.
at me like that.
Whoa.
Oh, actually, nah, do it.
That wasn't me.
I like
What are we talking about?
Hey,
Sorry, what?
hold on.
Whoa.
Oh shit! This
Whoa.
is why you have both headphones on, bro.
There we go.
There you go.
And
see?
pay attention in life to things.
Hey, no,
that
it's just
happen.
engagement,
Always a good
That's what it's
tip.
about.
full-on
Yeah.
engagement.
Always, forever,
Oh,
infinitely.
yo, fucking today, boys. Did you know that Elon Musk bought Twitter? The deal
Elon.
finalized.
These are things happening in our world around us.
That's some crazy shit, bro.
He wanted it.
He got it.
And he got it. Did you hear about the Saudis?
No.
So the Saudis came in and were like, actually, we'll throw in an offer as well. And then the rest of
What,
America,
like 3 gold Lamborghinis and like
dude, it would be no. I think
500,
they've doubled.
100 stacks?
I literally think that was close to a double offer. Don't quote me on that. I think they tried to double the offer. I could be completely wrong. I remember reading something like that though.
Sure.
They were like, "We'll pay double whatever he's offering," and then the rest of America was like, "What the fuck?" That like literally we have the chance to like keep free speech within America because you know the Saudis are going to be fucking closing down shit. You know they're going to be like, well, let's not tell them the oil's over here.
I mean, like, anyone's got to be better than Mark at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, are you
putting it
saying
out
Mark
there.
McGowan?
No, Zuckerberg. Yeah, the Zuck, yeah.
Wait, no, that's
Oh, no, that's
Facebook.
Tom. Wait,
Yeah.
Tom's Facebook or is that Mark?
I mean, I don't know
No,
who owns
they're
Twitter,
both
but I'm just-
Facebook.
They're in cahoots.
Who's Tom?
Tom, you know, like your first friend. For some
that's
people,
on
their only
Facebook.
friend.
Yeah, no, I think it's
Who's Tom?
Tom's the first guy you get on. No, shit, that's MySpace. See, that's just. Look, I'm not even going to comment because I'm like 10 years behind.
Yeah,
on
I
tech.
don't even know.
I think it's it's a dude that starts with J.
I keep chucking
Fucking
out
Jared or something.
friend requests on MySpace. Nobody's there anymore. I don't know what's going on.
James?
I like how it's up. Who owns Twitter? Straight away, Elon Musk in bold letters, massive letters.
Yeah, he paid big for that as well, I hear.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what, like 38 billion?
Elon Musk and nobody
But-
else's name, though.
Oh no, it was Parag Agrawal, one of a large crop of Indian origin CEOs at major Western companies, appeared to write a farewell note as news broke of Elon Musk's $44 billion takeover on April 25. Agrawal replaced Twitter founder Jack Dorsey as CEO less than 6 months ago. So Jack Dorsey was replaced with this Agrawal Indian dude 6 months ago. And now it's been bought off of him by Elon Musk.
That's not the Saudis you're talking about.
No, I think
They're
that
not.
so the Saudi thing, hold on, we'll just go into this. Well, I'm interested in this shit. So
Yeah.
it's like fucking, but I think the Saudis made an offer for Twitter of like a double whatever Elon Musk was putting in.
I heard-
And it was like,
Yeah.
fuck, man. you kind of don't want to do that, bro. But if it was already owned by an Indian dude,
I mean, you ever use Twitter?
so Elon Musk faces off.
No.
So it says Elon Musk faces off with Saudi Prince Talal.
Okay, so he's a
over
prince.
over Twitter sale. Here we go. Elon Musk has questioned Saudi Arabia's role in Twitter Incorporated after Saudi Arabia's Prince Al-Walid bin Talal tweeted his opposition to the billionaire entrepreneur's offer to buy the social media company. The prince tweeted on Thursday from his verified account that Musk's offer of a $43 billion cash takeover of the company does not come close to the intrinsic value of Twitter. And it's like, yeah, okay.
Couple billion short.
Yeah, oh, no, like a lot more. Being one of the largest long-term shareholders of Twitter, that I reject this offer, the prince said, referring to the Saudi Arabia's based kingdom. Oh, what the fuck this is?
It's a prince versus Elon Musk. It's a decent showdown. But Elon Musk won, I heard.
Listen to this. The prince also shared 9.2%. What the fuck? Oh, this is just fuck. This is all clickbait. Fuck you, motherfucker. This is stupid.
Only scholarly articles. Let's go.
No shit.
Peer reviewed.
I need. This is why I need fucking. There's a computer set up over there.
Goddamn warehouse.
Literally, I need the position filled.
True.
I need a very fast Googler that can continuously Google.
It's got to be a job these days. Googler.
Yeah. Well,
In this
yeah.
crazy world.
This is going to start with advertisement very soon. Also with the monetization of of YouTube. We're hitting close to the targets for it. But just not on the subscribers. Well, we need to up our subscribers, people, on YouTube. So fucking click the link.
You heard the man.
Yeah, click the link through and fucking subscribe to the YouTube channel. Because once we get there,
20 episode reunion.
yeah, we're doing a 20 episode reunion now.
And counting.
We'll do a 40 and we'll do a 60. And we'll do no, maybe that's but it's cool to catch up. I think with the people that are I'm always going to be working with,
Yeah.
and see how we were going and stuff and all that jazz.
For sure.
What do you got going on, Hammer?
What have I got going on? I mean, yeah, like you were saying before, I'm kind of just planning all the releases finally.
But you've been writing still?
Yeah, no, I've definitely been writing still. I mean, God, I've probably got 20 verses. I probably used half of them.
That's a lot of fucking verses.
Yeah, that's done. I got, a lot of stuff that I'm kind of messing around with, not, there's a lot of tracks that I'm kind of need some editing, some that I've kind of need to find a beat for, find a project for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, but it's good. I've had a lot of people asking, when can I actually hear these tracks? I want to put it in my playlist, so.
We've had a lot of that, eh?
Yeah, I mean.
We had a couple of people, I won't name, but Shazamming the tracks while we were playing
Yeah.
And it was oh, that's cool. But I was no, they're on my drive, man. You can't have them yet.
Yeah, no, funny story. I had this one dude come up to me and he was like, "Man, I got all your songs in my playlist." I was like, "Oh, thank you, but I know you don't because they're not even out." But
I love the confidence.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I like that you like my stuff, but
it's not out.
You don't. It's not out.
Yeah. You think I'm somebody else?
Yeah, I don't know.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
Literally.
No, I mean, we're getting some good feedback from it.
But every single time that happens, dude, just be like, "Oh, fucking yeah, let's fucking. What's your Instagram, bro? I'll add you."
Yeah, sure.
And then fucking you get that a fan, And then
Yeah,
that dude can be
100%.
like, "Holy shit, I met this guy, and I've got him as a friend on Facebook now."
Yeah, I mean, I try and stay interactive, and if
Not
anyone leaves a
Facebook,
comment,
Instagram, by the way. You
Yeah,
don't use
Instagram.
Facebook unless you fucking got events and stuff.
Sure.
Don't you can use it as a sole platform if you want. A lot of people do because it targets a lot of older people. But just know that you are targeting older people because
Sure.
there's a bigger audience for your nan and your mum to all be in a group. And because you can always see what your mum comments. They're always in arguments with other people, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Maybe not your parents, but
yeah,
I know plenty of older people that just get on, and not my parents either. Sorry, Mum, if that seemed like that was you. But no, there's a lot of just people that will get online, and I don't know if it's to any fault of their own, because a lot of people just get lost in life, right? So like, if you're getting like a lot of stress from like your work, if you're in a cubicle all day or something like that, and you like just fucking like, you just feel like you're fulfilling somebody else's dream, that does weigh on your soul. Can we agree?
Oh, no doubt.
Oh yeah, of course.
Daily too.
Right?
I mean, if you're on the wrong path, you know it.
Yeah, and you know it too. But like also, if you're working towards something, it's kind of like you have to do that, right? But if there is a means to an end, but if there's not a means to an end and you're just following just like your same old patterns and habits, dude, you become very, very complacent very quickly.
I mean, mechanic almost.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on your character type.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I'm not talking about the people like us.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it depends. I feel like a lot more people nowadays are kind of seeing other options in terms of employment and starting their own kind of side.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like literally people, like everyday people. There's reasons as to why you have your garbage picked up. There's reasons as to why there's fucking like letters that arrive in the mail for bills and shit. Everyday jobs from corporations and stuff. You're locked in a cubicle all day. You don't have any interaction. You're hating your life. So you get online. And then you see somebody that's doing exactly what you wish you could be doing, and you're like, fuck this guy. you know, there's those people. That's a real thing. You're like, fuck, I'll just say the most mean, fucked up shit to this person. And then and it's like,
But that's just taking like problems out in other people.
Advice.
Yeah, and that's a real thing. But now also there's that time, like a times amount, because we have bots. Right, we have like there's things like the Russian troll farms where like there's people that will sit on their phones all day. They're paid a wage to do this just to fuck with you.
Wouldn't be the worst job. I mean,
it's not. It would be thrilling.
Talk shit online all day.
It would be thrilling. There's pages on like Twitter that have been established for like 10 years, and it's just these Russian troll farms. The dude's had a job for 10 years, but he's built the page to like 1.4 million people following.
I mean, it's kind of like telemarketers, but the Facebook version. Reach
Same
out, create a nuisance.
You made me yawn. You just yawned and made me yawn.
That was for you.
Thanks, bro. Isn't that a weird thing? Where does that come from? Because I talked about this yesterday on the podcast. Stop doing that shit. I talked about this on the podcast yesterday. Adam Ritchie, I explained to him like the whole if one person throws up, it's because the other person, if you're eating the same food, you throw up. But it's instinctual. So if you see another person throw up, you're more likely to hurl, but just because you're seeing somebody else throw up.
Shit, I know it's the same thing with yawning, but I don't know about vomiting.
I don't
myself yawn again.
See, because you're talking about it as well, it doesn't help.
You should stop yawning, because if there's people listening in their cars, like you're gonna make them yawn while they're
just thousands of crashes.
We'll just play some lullaby music.
Does that work? Can I like make people yawn through a podcast?
I don't know.
I feel like it's a visual thing. I don't know. You can try.
Is it a visual thing?
Can we get some feedback on this?
Yeah. Take a poll.
Yeah. Take a poll. Take a vote. Yeah.
It's the real questions in life.
I want to know. I want to know.
It's freedom of information, freedom of speech.
Sure. Yeah.
Wait, what? Yeah. What did you just say?
Freedom of information request. I'm with him.
I don't understand what you guys are talking about now.
So I forgot as well.
It's good, man. We're past it.
Freedom of information.
All hail Elon.
All hail Elon. Yeah, freedom of speech is fucking huge. Freedom of information is a little bit more scary.
True.
Because that's everything, bro.
There's definitely some information you're not allowed to have.
Yeah, I don't think we should have all the information. I just don't think it's good.
Maybe not all the answers.
Because having all the information means having none of the privacy.
Yes.
I mean, that's what you were talking about. It's the world we live in now. Most things are instant behind the computer screen.
Some people are a little bit more like into the future than others, right? Because like if you really look at trends and everything like that, if you look at all how trends have been, the people on OnlyFans, they're so far ahead of everybody else because of the care factor of like, But if you looked into the future, right, like if you looked on where we've come to where we're going, we've come from a more releasing state of like privacy, right? It started with like, let's jump online. Oh, let's have a Facebook account. Oh, let's link all together. Like, oh, now we can see everybody who's dating who. I can see fucking more flesh on that girl than I've ever seen in my fucking life. And it's like, oh, now the screens are actually more exciting than the person, because you're never going to see that person in real life like that. So it's kind of just a fantasy on your screen until you see them in real life. But because you have been exposed in that way, who's to say like that a man that's been fucking restricted for ages, I'm not saying this is like a fucking, like I'm painting a scenario of crazy, because like women have, and men as well, because like the statistic of men raping men, like men rape more men than women. Like men have raped more men than men have raped women. Did you know that?
Do now. Shit.
True facts.
Yeah, because prison's a thing, bro.
Oh yeah,
Prison is the thing.
prison is definitely a thing. Yes, can confirm.
Yeah, it's a true fact, dude. That's
The world we live in. Maybe
like-
Elon will save us.
And especially like in the last like
Tesla prison.
dude, but like and I'm not fucking saying hey, like
You don't know. You don't know where this is going to go in 20 years, man.
Yeah.
The tech and shit.
Hold on. I'm just saying. Don't make me lose my point right now. We might need a pause just so I can go back on this. Nah, I'm kidding.
Please remember it.
No, so like so that's the dichotomy of where we are in 2022. We have so many people, there's so many interactions right now.
True.
Right? And there's so many different so many things that are happening at the moment that is completely different to anything that's ever happened ever. Right?
In the past.
In the past.
Yeah,
We've got like fucking more men raping more men than men are raping women because of how many people are in jail worldwide. Right? That's a crazy statistic.
Yeah, sure.
Right? There's probably, I'm talking Western world. I'm not taking into account like I can't speak for a non-Western world. Like, because I'm not in a non-Western world, right? Like, we don't have the statistics for that. Like, we can only say like the statistics that we actually have. But like, the craziest shit in this fucking world is like the stuff that we're going through just with like free speech. We've got a war going on. Mm-hmm. More people are worried about what's happening with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp than the Ukraine.
That shows you the connectivity of it all, doesn't it? There's not much you can't get by your fingertips.
Wild times. So all of that's going on, and there's dudes sitting for 8 hours in a cubicle pushing paper they feel worthless as fuck. So when they jump online at night, right?
And get access to all this.
You get access to all of this excitement, all of this like dopamine rush, right? All of this nudity, all of this like crazy shit, right? Who's to say like when they see that person out in public that they're not going to do something wild? That's a real thing these days, bro. And I think like a lot of people are under the understanding that all of us are like, hey, no, we need our privacy. But there's some people that aren't. So don't get crazy, is what I'm saying. Because some people are open to the fact of, hey, privacy is not an issue. Like I am who I am. And that's why we have OnlyFans, right? And then you have the other side of it, which is like people that are like, oh my God, like some cultures don't like to see flesh. Like they like their women fully clothed.
Or don't condone it.
Right? Like it's just not a part of their culture to be like that. And then you've got like all this variability in human society. This diversity that we're living in is very crazy. And it's like to be able to see all of that on a 6-inch screen and to take all of that information in 24/7 can sway a person just on how they feel daily.
Yeah, and I think, instant gratification is where you know, now all of a sudden we don't get as enthralled in the process because why would we? We can get it by our fingertips.
Exactly.
And that's where you use the word excitement.
Yeah.
And how you put that together in life. I think how you live life has permanently changed because of the media wave, you know, 15, 20 years.
Yeah. So it's almost, I think we need to focus on a little bit more of the beauty.
Yeah, the essence of doing things.
The beauty in the world, not the booty.
I mean, that too.
Well, praise the booty.
Yeah. The booty and Elon Musk.
Yeah, and Elon Musk. Praise Elon Musk. You're a legend, bro. But like that's a crazy thing. A little world we're living in that.
I think
Hammer, you told me today. Sorry to cut.
I mean, I will add in there just real quick, like enjoying the process, not the product.
Yeah.
You know, what's the purpose these days? We're doing it for attention. We're doing it to achieve something.
Yeah.
Being an individual.
Yeah.
I told you today.
Yeah, you told me today that we have a subscription now that you can subscribe to like something on Microsoft and you can play like 500 games for the same subscription as Netflix. And like you can instantly stream video games and play them in real time.
Oh man, give that.
I don't know if it's exactly 500. It's a couple hundred,
but it's in the range of more than fucking one at a time.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Dude,
you don't have to download it. It's kind of like Netflix
with the fingertips.
Video games.
Dude, do you know what that is? That's you choosing what multiverse you want to be in. You get to choose a world, go into that world, play with your friends. That is what that is. Let's not dumb it down. It's
a video game.
It's a video game, right? But video games are just other universes, aren't they? You get to choose your character. You get to upgrade your shit. Depends on the game. But like, eventually, some of these games that we're going to have on that streaming service are going to be so crazy big and wild that it's just going to be logging into like this. It's going to be so eventually.
I mean, for me, there's never going to be a better reality that you can plug into than this. You know, I'm not going to be sitting there on my couch fucking experiencing life.
Dude. Have you heard the simulation theory? Because there's more probability in this being already that than this being this.
Oh, yeah, no, I have said quite a couple times.
Who's to say that when we
that
go,
we are not in that we are in a simulation, or that we could possibly be in a simulation?
Actually said that. You've said that in raps too.
Sure. Yeah.
Who's to say when we go to sleep at night that, like, you know how in the Matrix Neo just gets that thing pulled out the back of his head and comes to life? You know what? Do you ever we remember dreams, but like, do you remember being asleep, like in your body?
I've caught the exact point of falling asleep one time, 2 times actually, where I've been on my bed and I've fallen asleep and I've actually come down like as a bird's point eye view, coming down on kind of this like winding trail with, I think it was like a cart on there being pulled by like a horse. It was really weird. It was almost like a movie, like zooming in, and then I snapped back out and I woke up and then went back into it. So like I caught the exact point of like falling asleep. It was hell weird.
Lucid dreaming, right?
I have... Yeah. I wouldn't call that so much lucid dreaming. It was more catching the point where I go to sleep. I have had lucid dreams before though. This one time I woke up and walked outside of my room and like looked around, and this spaceship, like really detailed, came up from like behind my garden, and then I woke up and like walked outside and it was like exactly like it was in the dream. It kind of like it was weird. Tripped me out.
Have you ever used a Ajna light?
No, I did not know what that is.
An Ajna light is a type of light that you lay underneath. They have one, or they have a few actually at Beyond Rest. There's one in East Perth, Joondalup and Wembley. And an Ajna light, you lay underneath it. You're not in like a fucking float tank or anything, but it just gives you different light frequencies in certain patterns, and you lay under it with your eyes closed, and the light actually shines through your eyelids and just hits the eyes receptors.
Is that kind of like a natural like DMT?
Yeah.
Trip? Yeah.
And once it stops, you have to kind of lay there for a couple of minutes and just let that go. Like,
yeah, I've heard about this. This is what I was saying to you.
It's a beautiful feeling.
To the day.
And so what they do is they give you like headphones, and then they'll send a frequency, like whether it be a theta or gamma or alpha or whatever you want. I think there's only 4 anyway. What's the other one?
Pass.
Beta,
Beta? Is that it?
alpha, gamma.
No, it's not beta. I don't.
Alpha, beta.
I'm a
It's
pass.
theta, alpha,
Shit.
gamma, and I fuck know what the other. Google it. Yeah, but you can choose like. So it sends one frequency into one ear and then another frequency that's just a little off frequency. So it sounds like a wave. Woof, 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 and it brings you into a state with like background noise. So it's like you're in like on a beach or something, right? And then all you hear is woof, 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 woof. And just fucking this light just hits your forehead, and literally I feel like it hits your pineal gland like DMT does, right? And it if you follow the light patterns with your eyes closed, literally you can take yourself through a full on experience, and it's fucking wild.
Can't say I tried.
Dude, you can do that in 2022. And like, that's so like that technology exists. That will set your day right for like a week. Like, cause it gets you thinking. It's almost like a hypnosis that brings you back to like your energy wave. Do you know how like you can stand on like grass and like your body will feed off the energy of the like the electromagnetic pulse of the earth?
Apparently so, yeah.
And that's if you do it barefoot. And because we are always rubber sole trainers or like rubber at the bottom of your shoe, right? We are killing that electromagnetic connection between the body and the earth. And they call that earthing.
I know it's like connectedness to Earth for the indigenous population that's massive in their culture.
Exactly, yeah. And that's one thing that they promote as well is walking around barefoot.
Exactly.
That's a real thing. Just to say people, hey, they're walking barefoot, da-da-da-da. No, they're more connected to the earth. Like it's a choice. They know shoes are a thing. Don't be stupid and don't be an arrogant prick. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like also we have like practices that you can go ahead with. Like you can do earthing classes now where you actually do like yoga on like grass and stuff and like not use a mat and rather just, have you seen fucking yoga with goats?
Yeah, I have actually.
Goat yoga?
That's one thing in the world out there that exists around
That's
us.
another thing,
Goat
right?
yoga.
Goat yoga.
Shit, we probably got like 20 types of yoga by now.
you got that
Kundalini.
yeah, Kundalini, you've got Bikram, that's that rapey yoga.
Gotcha.
That dude's
I haven't tried that one.
hot yoga. That's what that is. But that Bikram guy, the guy that created it, it's called hot yoga where you do
Okay,
yoga.
Yeah, gotcha.
You do yoga in a sauna. It's like a
Yeah.
very hot room. And Bikram, the guy who created, was a fucking sexual predator. He literally said this: a woman would pay me $1 million for a drop of my semen. He said that shit.
It's pretty rapey.
It's
Yeah,
rapey
I
as
mean,
shit,
very
bro.
rapey.
You hope he's got good genes?
No, he doesn't. No,
Ask
he doesn't.
him, he'll tell you.
Oh, well, yeah, he says it, they're the best. But I just don't think so, bro. Like,
Good salesman?
Yeah. You gotta believe in your product.
dude, you guys are... No, that's not it. You fuckhead.
Next topic.
No, but like...
The goat yoga though, that's interesting.
That's a thing that they have in Perth. Did you hear about the people that were doing? This is an extreme one because I don't even think that they did this in like old times. Like people like exposing their anus holes to the sun. Have you heard of this?
No,
shit?
hear him out.
No, literally, people were like exposing your asshole as a therapy to
tan.
the sun.
Huh?
No, and like
tan.
it's
Vitamin D, like no homo.
no. Well, apparently, like there were like some serious like issues with this because some people were actually doing it like it was a thing, but it was just a social media trend. Like it was probably like a Russian troll farm, and they were like, "Yeah, hey, you should try this." But like that skin was never exposed.
Sounds problematic.
It does, right? Like it doesn't seem like a good idea.
No.
Yeah.
something I'd
So like
recommend.
don't expose your asshole to anything. Like,
No.
unless it's like soap. And never let someone else do it.
Unless they're a friend.
Unless they're a friend or paying. No, I'm kidding.
Everyone's got a price.
Let's say, let's hit this break, bro. I gotta light up. Hello, people.
Yo.
We're back. I'm in a wild mood today. Is there gonna be a fucking a moon up?
A moon up, a full moon.
A full moon.
Shit,
that's the one.
any excuse
Sorry,
you need
I'm
to get
real high.
wild, man. I like it. I'll
A
take
moon up.
A moon up, bro.
Nice.
Dude,
Isn't that when the werewolves come out?
Yeah, I'm a werewolf.
it. There we go. Now we're learning things.
Yeah, werewolves of London.
This is Perth, man.
Bro, this is London, bro. No, I'm kidding. This Perth, P City. Oi, oi.
Yo.
Hey.
Represents 6K. Dude, I love this city, man.
Nice.
It's a beautiful city.
We have it nice.
Um,
Us Perthians.
do you prefer living like in Bali?
Man, it's
I love the food over there. The people are nice.
Yeah. It's a humble existence, man. People smile at each other on the streets. You don't really get that here in the city areas. I appreciate the people, the culture. It's very family orientated.
Yeah, it is. It's very like they have a lot more tribe kind of
Sure. Yeah, I mean
culture.
they still do the wake up, pray, afternoon, pray. You know, the men and women got a different thing going on. But I'm fascinated by the culture, and I'm quite jealous.
Yeah. Why?
No, they got just the joy, just the smile, the togetherness that they have. I mean, I think we lost that. They call us a collectivist culture as opposed to individual.
I want to know your thoughts on that. So why do you think we've lost that?
I mean, I think it's related to a lot with what we're talking about before, media, how that's changed things. We got ever-changing, expanding touch to whatever topics we want these days. Why care about your neighbour anymore? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I could make an argument as to why you should, but it's that community feel that, you know, they're out there on the streets. You walk through most streets over here, suburban, and it's dead. People don't, you know, we got Christmas, you know, we have the barbecue and we watch the footy on the weekends, but we don't go out.
It's unsafe on the streets. Don't you know these things?
No, it's not.
Come on.
We have
It's
some
good.
of the safest streets in the
We
world in
We
Perth. But yeah, I understand what you're saying because there is like, even when you're over there for a holiday, if you've been over there a few times, you get to like know a certain group of people because you always want to see them again, you know? And then like they're so welcoming to their families, and then you get to meet all their friends, and then you become friends with their friends, and then it just becomes like a little community. And every time you go over there, it like fortunately we have like an abundance of money over here, but when you go over there for a holiday, you get to live lavishly and you get to like treat them a little nice too. You know, it's a win-win. Like, they help us because they get to show us all the cool shit that we would probably never see because like of, you know.
We're lucky they treat us so well, truth be told.
Yeah.
They're very nice to people who come from outside the country, I think, and a lot of that is because they depend on the tourism, but I
They
think
suffered, man,
they
during
did.
COVID.
Yeah, very sad. Yep. Yeah, I think
Talk towards the mic.
hopefully it returns because they are going through a rough patch. But
Yeah, definitely. It was like, what, 80 or 90% of their income, I think, was
Tourism.
Yeah, tourism,
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
Everyone felt it. You could see like a lot of people regressed back to the villages. Because there was
Yeah,
no
I
money in
mean,
Kuta. There was no.
Well, my mum
Kudos.
was in Bali the whole time Corona was going on. She
Yeah, that's
said,
right.
you know, places were closed down. She was getting hospitality for that cheap because they were just so desperate for
Yep.
people to stay there, you know. They were
crazy.
saying, you know, you may as well stay here for, I mean, I couldn't name a price for you, but it was dirt cheap, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they were thinking, you know, we may as well have them in for dollars than, you know.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, than not have anyone in because there was just no one in Bali.
$600 places, it would run you about $200.
Yeah.
For my time over
Yeah.
there. So yeah, about a third of the price.
Yeah.
Wow.
And as you said, they're happy. You know, they're very gracious people as well. You know,
Yeah. They don't really rip you off until like the only
Most
people
of
that
them
get
are
ripped.
gracious.
Yeah. Like I'm talking about the locals, not like Javanese and stuff like that.
Different story.
Yeah. They're a little bit more hungry. You know what I'm saying?
they're a bit more connected to the whole world. Ubud,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Ubud and Bali's a bit different.
Yeah. It's a little bit different. So the people, the actual locals, they've like, it's in their nature to be kind. And it's like, it's a part of their religion, their culture and all that kind of stuff. So that's probably like, we do have, and we've westernized it a little bit too. You know, and I think that kind of does pull away from the value of like, but they haven't lost their culture.
No, exactly. They've got, I mean, over in Canggu where it's more beach orientated in Bali, they've got farmland right next to the restaurants that we've kept building for the next 10 years.
Exactly.
So they're big on that, maintaining that culture. And
everybody
that
knows that hell dangerous corner on the way to Canggu where you go around and there's like, you could go into rice fields.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
You got to watch out. Oh shit, the shortcut that goes.
You land in some mud.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. And the shortcut that goes in between.
Yeah,
and it dips down. Scary as shit.
Apparently they did that up like 6 months ago though.
Really?
Yeah.
But well, I heard a car went off the side.
Oh, many.
Yeah, like, and it was pretty bad. There was like a minivan with some kids in it and stuff. It was kind of scary. But yeah, like I remember like nearly going off the edge because like the car was coming around that corner, you know, and just before it goes down.
Yeah.
Whoo, that's some scary shit. But that's a fun, like, that's like, because you cut across in like on the way through Mississippi. Like you see Mississippi and you keep going around, you know?
Yeah.
That's some fun shit.
Interesting story. I mean, interesting. Comparing the two between traffic situations in Bali and Perth, right? So like, you get honked out too many times behind you, you're ready to go to war about it. You're ready to fight the dude.
In Perth?
In Perth, absolutely. Whereas over there, it's a interesting comparison. They do it to help you out. They do it to let you know, look, we're there. You know, whether they're just cutting behind you or what are they doing. It's a sign of trying to help you.
Yeah.
Completely different story over here. We'll bite each other's heads off if you stare at somebody for too long, you know. So, not to say there's not a handful of stuff that I won't miss about Perth, WA, because we do have a very nice, livelihood here.
Talking to the mic. Sorry, bro. It's because you're lent that way. Like, lean in a little.
I can do that.
There you go.
Yeah. So not to say that I won't miss the place.
Perth. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I think some like rules are like, for our sake, better than others. Like going 100 kilometers an hour, it's better that we all stick in the same lanes.
America got a whole other thing going on.
You know, like, like even Indonesia at 100 kilometers an hour, you see a bus not indicating and just like, and you have to.
It's organized chaos.
It's organized chaos.
Sure.
It's scary as shit if you don't know how to actually drive in it.
Yeah, 100 Ks in a motorbike in Bali's brave.
Mind you, I'm
sure. Yeah.
But have you been over like the bridge to going? Is it what's the other side? It's not Chang'e. Do you know the massive bridge that goes south?
I know a couple, but
no, the one that's above the ocean. They built it over the top of the ocean.
Shit.
I think I have been there. Yeah, that was pretty wild. It's just this huge.
It's a toll snake bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. I think
I can't remember where it goes. I haven't been to Bali.
Joins up to an airport, I think.
No, I've been on it many times. It goes down to the water sports place.
Yeah, I've been in a boat around there as well.
In Canggu?
No, it's Lombok.
Lombok.
Is it Lombok?
Less familiar with
I
Lombok.
couldn't even tell you. I honestly haven't been to Bali in a long time. I'm pretty sure I know
Too
what
long.
you're talking
Sorry,
about.
Fiji. But yeah, no, it's somewhere around there. Nusa Dua. It goes down to Nusa Dua.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can go down and do like your water sports and all that kind of
beautiful
shit.
place.
Yeah, it's fucking gorgeous, man. Sorry, I didn't fucking escapes my brain, bro. It's the fucking weed. But yeah, it's a beautiful place, and obviously, like they, that's another worldly place where they have crazy like rules. Like we have crazy laws over here that they think's crazy, like, but they have crazy laws over there that we think's crazy. Like you can't go there with weed; they'll shoot you.
Sure.
Or you go to prison for a while. You know, that's crazy. A long time actually for weed.
Yeah.
You know, that whole drug side is a lot different. But there's some things you can get over there, like we were talking about earlier, like Kratom, right?
Yeah.
And is that legal over there?
I was going to say.
Yeah, it is because it's growing naturally.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
That's crazy. Like, and it has so many positive side effects.
I would argue.
It could pull people, like apparently, like the best thing for getting off cigarettes is Kratom.
Yeah, cigarettes, heroin. I know a lot of the stronger opiates. Absolute substitute.
Yeah, like the ones that work like directly off your dopamine sensors. Like getting off weed.
For sure.
Apparently, if you have like a psychological addiction to weed, like because I think it's habit forming, but it's not.
I think beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
It really
you're
depends on.
But I think like on a chemical basis, you can't like there's no like a physical attachment.
Physiological withdrawal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's definitely people addicted to Kratom. Like, you can't say that
I'm
there's
talking
no-
about weed. I'm talking about marijuana.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but Kratom.
I mean, it's with
think-
like everything, you know. You can get like addicted to really anything.
Yeah, but with Kratom, I think there's literally like no come off.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about managing the symptoms around withdrawal,
I also don't know anything on this, by the way. I'm
Yeah, I mean,
literally just
yeah.
spitting
a
bullshit.
little bit
like-
of personal experience. You know,
Yeah,
I
that's-
can-
you've
I can
used it.
spitball. I can spitball with you. Yeah, but
Yeah, you've used
I
it.
mean,
so I don't
Fucks
know.
up your liver a little bit. Like, it's
puts a bit of pressure on it.
Yeah.
but-
What is that like? It actual hurts?
No,
no, it's just damages your liver by
you
taking
can't-
large amounts of Kratom.
you can get a pain there for sure. Put too much pressure on your liver, but
Oh, sure.
I mean,
yeah.
it'd take you a while. Shit, compare it to cigarettes as far
What's
as
the
the pains. Well, it's just like any other ache.
No.
Deep
What's the
stabbing.
feeling of the Kratom?
deep
Of
stab.
the Kratom, that's the beauty of it. Homeostasis.
Homeostasis. I love that word.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
So just neutrality,
Peace.
peace.
A nice euphoric blanket feeling. But for me, it doesn't give you the drag down that a lot of bud does.
Like weed.
Yeah,
Like
and that's
indica.
where, yep, for sure. That's
The
where
cat shit. Yeah.
and that's where we're talking about the whole substitute withdrawal program. You know, you measure it up with the withdrawals from nicotine from heroin,
Yeah.
replacing it with something like Kratom that's not as severe on the receptors, on the
Yeah, it's
endorphins.
perfect. Way better.
Lesser of two evils, but
Yeah, because I understand how it could like affect the liver then if it doesn't have any kind of like if it's not meant for the system. Like there's obviously going to be some portions of the plant ingested that's going to like it's going to obviously activate some sort of hormesis. It's going to have an effect on the body, right? It's going to put the body under some kind of stress. And whenever you smoke or take anything, the immediate reaction from the body is to get rid of it. So like
process it.
it's
yeah.
to process it and
Yeah.
get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't want it in there.
No, it takes what it can and then gets rid of the.
Exactly. And if it does have an effect on the liver, if there is the pressure on the liver, if that has been documented, I don't know that at all, obviously. I'm only, like I said, I don't have any facts on it.
It's one of those interesting new substances. I know America's got a bit of a polarizing stance behind it, but they got a handful of states that are for. They sell it in the groceries, chemists, whatnot, and then you got some states that don't. But
Is that
Definitely
right?
a shit ton better than heroin.
I think we can agree on
I
that.
think that's a blanket statement for like most class 1 drugs. But in Australia, I'm pretty sure marijuana is being moved out of a class 1 drug, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening in the industry lately. I mean, you might be able to say more.
Do you know anything about this?
What was that? Sorry, about it.
It might have been,
out.
dude. I've been getting sent some fucking clickbait recently.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, even when I heard on the news that we were getting medicinal marijuana, I was kind of not
believe it when you
100%
see it.
believing that
Yeah.
either.
That was
until it
that's
came,
a crazy thing that not a lot of people know about these days in Australia.
Yeah.
Is you can actually not just like I'm pretty sure in Perth the dispensary only sells capsules and topical spray and like CBD products. So things that'll help you like for if you suffer with epilepsy or anything like that. Epilepsy or anything like that is what I said. I turned my head because he started yawning again and I don't want to see him yawn.
I actually yawn.
You yawn a lot.
Do you want to know why?
Because you're
Don't get meat?
vegetarian. You need meat in your
No.
diet.
No, because I have my brain is not used to me breathing through my nose, and I consciously try to breathe through my nose to train myself to do it. But me yawning is my body trying to like subconsciously get more oxygen because it's not used to having less levels of oxygen.
Is that Windhoff or
No, it's not Windhoff. It's
Wim
it's called
Hof. Wim Hof with an M.
Wimhoff?
Yeah.
It's like
called-
wind, like you take in the
Or well, if you're hoffing wind.
Hoff in the wind. Yeah. No, I'm interrupting.
it's a certain technique. I don't know what it's called. Basically, it's training yourself to breathe through your nose.
It's a type of meditation. It's a
Not really. It's more of a technique to help with your asthma and with mouth
If you're
breathing, 'cause it
breathing-
causes a lot of issues.
100%. Have you read the book Breathe or Breath?
No, it's
Dude, there's a book called Breathe and Breath or whatever it is. And
Sounds vital.
yeah, dude, it's literally like that is what's going on a lot today. Do you know women that get the smaller nose surgery?
Yeah.
Right?
And they got a lot of problems,
Yeah, they got
complications.
a lot of complications and
Yeah.
heightened ego because they're always in a fight or flight state because they're in like panic
Yeah,
state
okay.
because
Yeah.
they take short breaths. They're a lot easier to snap. They're a lot more irritable.
Well, apparently I'm having too much oxygen and my CO2 levels aren't high enough. So by breathing less, it should bring me more back to normal.
If if you want to dispel oxygen, breathe faster, if you and bring your CO2 levels up, but you can actually you exhale carbon dioxide as well, which is if you don't take a deep enough breath out, right? A long breath out, right? So
It's a long breath out, man.
and I didn't even breathe in before it. I was just going off talking, right? Literally, if you were to do a long breath like that, you're holding a certain amount of CO2 and just letting a little bit out rather than just, right? You're just expelling all your CO2 there, right? But if you have an ongoing outward, it's just letting little bit out by little bit out. And then on your breathe in, if you keep it nice and steady on the way in, you hold a portion of that CO2 in. So you are correct in saying that, yeah, that's a part of that book. That's a part of that book.
Yeah.
So because we are carbon-based organisms, right? We are mostly carbon. If you remove the oxygen and the hydrogen, right? We're left with bone and all that kind of stuff, right? Because we're mostly water, right? So if you remove the water, we're just carbon, right? So we turn to ash, right? If we that's why you have ashes of when people pass away, because so that the carbon-based life also needs carbon dioxide inside of it. So that crazy type of meditative breathing, like the Wim Hof breathing, right? That that actually gets rid of heaps and heaps of carbon dioxide and heaps of oxygen. So when you go into a meditative state, it's actually because you're starving your brain of carbon dioxide, you actually get tingly fingers and all that kind of stuff. You actually get numb legs if you sit down too long and you are a mouth breather. Do you know, there's a real, that term mouth breather, oh, look at this, listen to this fucking mouth breather. That's a real thing. It's literally they don't breathe through their nose, and because we have a fist-size organism that is our pharynx, larynx, and all our whole mechanism for breathing, it's a fist behind our nose. Did you know that?
Yeah,
It's a fist.
I'm almost fist-sized.
It's a fist behind our nose. So
Oh,
all of that mechanism has been formed over hundreds of thousands of years to give us consciousness, right? The word spirituality in Greek comes from the word breathe. I think it goes into the word breathe or something like that. It's the consciousness is awareness of breath. To be conscious is to be aware of breath. It's a crazy book, bro, and it has so much detail in it. And there's another thing is crowding of the teeth. Because we have subjected ourselves to cooking meat, we are always looking for a more tender way to eat our food, right? But that's not how we used to live back in the day. We would chew roots constantly. We would chew meat constantly, bones, all that kind of shit. And our jaws are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's why we have to get our wisdom teeth removed these days. And when wisdom teeth come through, other teeth move. My teeth moved when my wisdom teeth came through, right? It's a very different thing. So you can actually get a palate spreader these days, which sits in the roof of your mouth. You twist it and it'll push your teeth apart. Sure, you get gappy teeth, but apparently it just gives you an open airway for your nose, which makes you more spiritually aware. God damn, don't let me rant.
I mean,
Whoa.
shit. I'm not gonna lie. When somebody brought up the whole Wim Hof or breathing techniques, there was I told him out loud, I know how to breathe. I got it. But shit, there's
but there are some people
makes
that
sense. It makes
that
sense.
are unconscious to that shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was one of them shit, but you gotta think it affects the body and all the organs, all the
100%,
functioning, the
brother.
air we breathe, shit.
Yeah. It's a wild fucking thing. So yeah, Hammer, like it's
good for you, man.
good for you, yeah.
To teach me one time how to breathe.
But do you think that is in like that kind of like makes you a slave to a yawn? Because you're like breathing
course.
slower?
Yeah, no,
'Cause you're
I
fucking
definitely do
yawning.
be yawning like 2 to 3 times the normal rate.
I wonder, like, do you like supplement for like iron and stuff? Because you're
I
vegetarian.
do,
and
yeah, I
shit,
have
you
to,
do.
yeah. Yeah.
Do like because you'd have to like you get your blood work done quite regularly, or you did. Didn't you when you first started this shit?
That was more to check the levels of metals I had in my brain.
Oh yeah, because your mum was like, you need to purge all these metals, eh?
Yeah, basically I was born
She's like
with,
really fucking like naturopathy, like she's really into it.
naturopath.
Naturopath, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool as shit.
Apparently I was born with high levels of aluminium, mercury, and something else in my brain.
Is that due to like drinking water and all that kind of stuff? Like in Perth, because we use a lot of like corrosives in our water and we have
Apparently
shitty pipes.
the aluminium was attributed to my mum's mum using a lot of aluminium cooking trays.
Right.
Can happen, yeah.
Yeah, that's a real
yeah.
thing.
So apparently she's got most of those out now through I don't even know what, but yeah, I mean apparently so.
Well, there are a lot of like trace metals in like fish and meat and all that kind of stuff, and even like plastics. Like, like plastic doesn't degrade, or like if it's not biodegradable, it takes hundreds of years for that shit to like.
Statistically, every single fish in the
the
ocean
world.
has plastic in it.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like because their systems break that down further. And it gets caught in their systems. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but you should, because we're fucking up the planet.
That's why we're here, to know these things.
Right? Like
Gotta know this.
It's what you need
plastic comes from oil. Plastic is refined oil. Right? It's a resin like that's extracted from oil. Right? So when we're constantly like polluting from like there's stuff in like the fucking trash heap in the middle of the ocean that Boyan slut that I think he's 22 now. It was 16 when he started the I can't remember what's Boyan Slut's company name, but he's cleaning up the ocean. Like he's literally got these like automatic nets that are dredging.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah,
And I think he's just reached 1,500 sea containers worth of plastic pulled out of the ocean.
damn,
Yeah, but it's I think it's 1%.
it would be.
I think it's 1% or like 0.1% or something. But Boyan Slut's company. Yeah, I just want to give it a shout out because like that's one kid that's just doing crazy work. It's called the Ocean Cleanup. So you can go on the oceancleanup.com and like I'm sure they have like a donation system and all that kind of stuff. But that garbage heap I think I call it like the Bermuda Triangle of garbage heaps or some shit because it's in San Francisco and it covers like this like I think it's a quarter of the size of Texas.
Damn.
Yeah, that's
Fucking hell.
yeah. There's a fucking a styrofoam patch near the Fijian Islands that's almost the size of the island
How did all the styrofoam come to one place?
because it sits on top of the water.
You need to know these things. Demand answers.
And because of the way the ocean currents go, I think it's just like landed in that area. But actually a child, another kid, I think he was 14 at the time, and I think it was back in 2018. I don't know the kid's name, but he won a science fair competition to take styrofoam and chemically change it into activated carbon, which you can then use for filters, drinking water, pulling water out of like wells in like Africa, all like, And they're taking all of that styrofoam, all because of this one kid's idea. He had the idea to like chemically change this stuff into activated carbon. That's a fucking crazy thing, right?
There you go. We'll see what Elon
shit.
does with Twitter.
That's some wild shit.
Yeah, if a kid can do it.
Yeah. I can't remember. I had this. There was a story I heard. Oh, yeah. No. I have a podcast coming up with a guy named James Faulkner. And he told me a story. I think it was James that told me the story. Yeah, no. Have I told you about this? It was the kid that came up with the idea for in ambulances, right? There's these beds, right? Like in ambulances, like you have beds, right? But that because of the road and the suspension of the ambulance, it's not a very comfortable ride, right? We can all agree. Have you ever been in an ambulance?
Yes.
And they got to go fast, and you feel everything, right?
I did not feel anything.
Well, most people that are out don't feel anything, right?
Got to do that breathing thing we're
But
talking about.
If you've hurt your back or something like that, and you've got a bumpy ride on the way back to the hospital in an ambulance, it's not a fucking fun ride. I'll tell you that. So when you're going, like this kid, I can't remember who told me the story. Maybe I fucked that up. I'll have to remove that part of it anyway. I'll fuck it, leave it in. Anyway, shout out James Faulkner. I'll see you soon, brother.
Shout out.
This is my man. He's taking me to Rottnest in one of his planes.
Oh,
I can't wait. It's going to be fun. I'm going to document
Fuck
the
yes.
whole thing. We're going to go have breakfast in Rottnest, then fly back here, do a podcast. It's going to be fun.
Lovely.
I can't wait. We'll set it up soon. This kid came up with the idea of like, you know how when you have a magnet and you freeze it with liquid nitrogen, sorry.
Yep.
It floats. Have you seen those?
What are you freezing? Sorry, what did you say?
A magnet.
A magnet.
A magnet. They and then opposing side, right? You flip it over on a metal like track. You can flip it over and it'll hover on that track and it won't lose its track. And you can push it and it'll follow the track.
No, I mean I seen my like teachers make like ice cream with like liquid nitrogen.
I'll show you the video.
freezing
Cool
some
too.
fruit.
I'll link the video too. I'll link the video.
So I'm like,
Hey guys, come on. Well, I'll link the video, but like if you turn a magnet opposing side, so it's not like it connects, you know how you got like positive to negative and it like fucking connects?
Yeah.
But if you go positive to positive, they like bounce off each other. I can't
Yeah,
remember if
they-
it's positive or
yeah,
not.
you can't
But
do
if
it.
you fucking liquid nitrogen a magnet and then do that, it stays still. It doesn't move out of range of where it can connect to. So it's like an opposite effect. So they thought, why not have these underneath the beds and let the bed sit above the track and then just contain it so you have no feeling of the ambulance. There's no contraction of spring.
Makes sense.
There's no suspension. You're floating and then this thing's taking you there.
It's the future.
A child came up with that idea.
levitating birds.
A child,
pretty
a
wild.
13-year-old came up with that idea. And it wasn't James that told me that. It was somebody else, but that child passed away.
Bro, I had
That
like
child-
a similar idea way back when I was like young as well. Like, why do they not have like cars on magnets not touching the ground? I was like, that is the only way you can get levitating cars, surely. Like
Yes.
back at like 13,
Yeah.
I was like, Mum, why do they not have cars on magnets yet?
Well,
When there's
yeah.
trains.
Yeah, it's almost like the Elon Musk thing, right? So I had the idea of like what you're saying. You know how he had in LA where you have cars go down on those tracks underground in the tunnels, and then the tunnels take you to the next like opening, and then they bring you back up.
Yeah.
Well, in those tunnels, you could have your car sitting on a track that speeds you up to a point, right? On wheels. And then at that point in time, the magnet underneath activates and sprays it with liquid nitrogen. It gains liftoff, like depending on how big these magnets are. I don't know if this is a possibility, but it changes from dirt or whatever it is, like it could be concrete to a steel platform. It levitates above that before it gets to that. Obviously, you got to have like metal underneath the concrete and then have it take off, and then there's no friction. It's already got the momentum to be going, and then once it needs to slow down, we just decrease the temperature of the magnet, or increase the temperature of the magnet, lowering it down back onto the wheels, so you aren't using any power for like the actual getting you there, like, right? But you're using the power to take you off and slow you down. You just use the liquid nitrogen to keep you levitated in the magnet. Maybe you have a powered magnet. That's an idea.
Oh, well, less friction's always going to be, or no friction's always going to be.
And it eliminates the power, right? So you could have all of like.
Not necessarily. It depends how you do it.
Exactly. But I'm a fucking moron, bro. But that's an idea. Like, that's an idea that I had like fucking a while back. And I was like, holy shit, like, has that been put into perspective? Like, can that be fucked with in a way like this is something, but somebody would find out how to hack it. You can hack a Tesla apparently.
Sure. I mean, like China, I don't know, Japan. Yeah, Japan's had bullet trains for.
I don't know if you can hack a Tesla. I can't hack a Tesla, by the way. I'm just saying that.
But on this
Probably most
episode,
definitely
on this
could.
episode, we're going to find out.
Let's hack a Tesla. He hacked a Tesla off a MacBook Pro. No,
No, I think it's in like what, Japan. They have the bullet trains.
bullet trains. Yes.
Yes, well,
Never crashed.
Is
Ever.
does that run on magnets?
Yep,
Does it actually?
it does. Yeah, that's why it goes so quick, because there's no friction.
Right. I've seen one of those fly past like the train station, and that like everyone has like, okay, the train's coming, secure, and you have to like grab all your shit to make sure it doesn't fly, because the train's like and just
Yeah,
carries
right.
so much air with it. But there is friction because we have air and like
Oh, of
gases.
course, but-
There's particles. It looks like nothing, but this is.
I mean,
That's why we
shout
have
out,
wind and stuff.
Shout out
to the kid,
inertia.
man. Yeah, shout out inertia too.
Shout out
shit.
Mother Nature, bro.
mean-
you know what I'm saying?
When I was 10, I was trying to put a basketball through a hoop, so
Yeah,
he
true.
done all right.
Fucking oath. I was
Good bin.
trying to put pies in my face.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
I was fat fuck. Anyway, should we wrap this shit up?
been
Yeah,
fun.
let's do it.
It's been
Always a
fun.
pleasure.
You can catch Hammer on Instagram. It's _Hammer_official_. You can
Yes,
catch
sir.
Tyso _official on Instagram. And yeah, you guys have got fucking tracks up on Truefire Management, Instagram, and Creation Studio as well.
Exciting stuff.
And guys, fucking subscribe to the YouTube, man.
Hey, like and subscribe.
See you there.
Hey, but also, if you do like the podcast, fucking hit me a link. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. I will see you soon. Goodbye, fellas.
Peace.
Take care.
Thank you.
Enjoy Bali, bro.
I'll do my best.
See ya.
Wanna fly away with you, float away, fly